Papa will take you the whole night. So for you, it will be a very good idea for you, a very good thing for you to travel all the night to that part of the country or that part of the town or the village and make sure that you reach people overnight and give them good help. Good helping hand and come back. So in other words, any act of good deed or act of ibadah becomes important in the month of during Laylatul Qadr. And like the ulama said, Laylatul Qadr, there are different opinions as to when, but the majority opinion is that it occurs on the night of the 27. That's 26, 27. On night of 27. There are various opinions, but this is what we expected. But because of the fact that some people have the opinion that Laylatul Qadr moves within the month of Ramadan, while others say it moves within the month of within the year. But because of these different opinions, it is safer for every Muslim to make sure that from day one of Ramadan up to the end, every day you make effort to do something good.
Exactly.
So that you can catch it. And if you catch it, you are lucky for good. Yes. Wallahu alam.
Zakatul Fitri, or what we call Murikor in our local language, is a kind of charity that is paid at the end of Ramadan. There is a hadith which is said to be narrated by Abu Dawood, Ibn Majah, and Ad-Darakutni, may Allah be pleased with all of them, who unanimously say that the Prophet ﷺ says that the purpose of Zakatul Fitri is to purify one who fasts from indecent act or speech and help the poor and the needy. Another hadith is also said to be narrated by Ibn Raslan, may Allah be pleased with him, who says that the Prophet ﷺ says the payment of Zakatul Fitri cannot be procrastinated. Enumerate more on this Zakatul Fitr.
Zakatul Fitr is another important obligation in the month of Ramadan. Although the ulama of Islam, the Islamic scholars have different status of or level of the obligation. For some it's sunnah, strongly recommended. For some others it's mandatory. For some others it's not mandatory, but it's a very, very strong sunnah of the Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But whatever the case is, there is a consensus among the ulama that any Muslim who fasts the whole month must do it. Otherwise, like the saying goes, the fasting will be hanging in a balance. You understand? So it is as if it comes to seal.
Some also say if you give it out after prayer, it's just like regular charity.
Exactly. So normally the time that they've defined or they've identified is the eve of the Eid. Like let's say on the 29th of Ramadan, after sunset, if sunset after sunset on 29th of Ramadan, before Fajr time, the eve of the Eid. Like if Ramadan is going to be 29, then of course between the time after sunset on 29 to Fajr time of the Eid day. But if Ramadan if Ramadan goes up to 30 days, then naturally it will be the time after sunset on the 30th. After sunset on the 30th, from there to Fajr time, even the morning time, up to shortly before going to the prayer. That is the period during which the zakat should be given. If you give it, and some of the ulama say if you give it 2 days before the Eid is accepted, but the majority of the ulama have agreed on have settled on this opinion that you give it only on the eve of the Eid. That is after sunset of the last day of Ramadan to the subh time or the morning time of the Eid day, and
before Eid prayer.
Yes. Now the measurement is known, it's available everywhere. There are 3 sizes. The small one, if you have the small one, is 4 times. If you have the medium sized one, is 2 times per person. The smaller one is 4 times per person. The medium sized one is two times per person, and the big one is once per person. And it is also mandatory upon yourself. One must give it out for himself or for herself, and for everybody who's feeding, he is responsible. The people that you are responsible to feed, you also must give it out for them. If you are taking care of your parents, of course, the responsibility to feed your children is your own one, and your wives if the person is a man. So therefore, men must give it out for their children.
Yeah, I also realize that oftentimes what we give out is rice. So is it mandatory that we give out rice?
No, it's not mandatory. Although the rule says that you only give
because we consume rice here a lot.
Yeah, it's a staple food. give it out of the staple food. That is the preferred opinion. But you could, if you give other substances like millet or corn or whatsoever, even dates in some others, if you give any other food also, it will be accepted. But of course, like I said, the staple food is what they have recommended. So you can give it, in a country like ours, you can give rice because it's a staple food in the urban areas. But if you go to the rural areas where people rely heavily or mostly on other sources of food like millet or corn, they can give out of it. But it is also accepted or acceptable or valid vice versa. Those whose staple food is rice, they can give other thing, they can give millet or corn, and those whose staple food is millet or corn can give out rice. You can even give money, according to some of the ulama. Yeah, you can give money according to some of the ulama. Of course, you have to know the exact, the market value of the quantity that you should give a person. Like if what you should give a person can be valued at, let's say, $50, then maybe you can give $50 for yourself and $50 for any other person whose feeding you are responsible. So that is how it goes, and it must be given, as I said before, you go out for prayer, but because they said if you fail to give it, you go out for prayer, it will not be accepted. Wallahu alam.
On that note, Dr. Abubakar Senghor, Interim Dean, Faculty of Law at the University of the Gambia, thank you once again for talking to us on exploring Islam. And also let me seize this opportunity to wish all Muslims Eid Mubarak in advance. And let me also say, Kullu Amin wa Antum Bihayri.
Thank you very much. I also want to seize the opportunity to congratulate you people, the GRTS, from the Director General to any other person within the institution for the elaborate way and in which you've addressed you've honored the month of Ramadan, and these particular Ramadan definitely is unique. The RTS has done outstandingly well. May Allah, the Lord of Nations, make these institutions one of the best and protect everybody who works in this institution. Thank you very much. And on behalf of the Islamic Council, I wish to say thank you very much for the way you're promoting Islam during the month of Ramadan. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
That's all the time we have for you on Exploring Islam. Until next week, I'm Aisha Tufai. Wa akhiru dawana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kaf ha ya ayn sad. ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واستعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا.